What's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and welcome to episode 16 of Sunless Skies. Last episode, we came back to Albion, as evidenced by us being in London right now. We made a stop at Brabazon Work World, saw what's going on over there. Spoiler alert, it's not very pretty. And yeah, here we are in London, and we have a lot to do. So, first of all, our aunt is here. Somehow, she has found her way to the high wilderness. She is trying to get your attention with the frantic waving of her horrible hat. I know you've seen me. Listen, I have quite exhausted my possibilities here. I'm a serviceable quartermaster. I have friends everywhere, and my scones are to die for. How's that for circumvat vitae? I have no idea what that is. Now let me aboard. Is she even your real aunt? Either way, you will have to deal with her. So we definitely want our aunt, but we need a savage secret. So we can't get one. We can't get her now. First off, we need to return Percy Blythe. Bring Percy Blythe home. The fruiting corpse of the hero molders in your hold. Time he was home. An inquiry at the Ministry, in one of their more approachable offices near the station, results in an armada of black-clad auditors descending upon your engine. Questions are asked, crew are probed, poor Percy is prodded, rolled over, prodded some more, and then covered in sheets and bundled away. The senior auditor goes to shake your hand, but thinks better of it. I have a reward here. You will, of course, be sensitive to the memory of the lieutenant, who would not wish to hear any unauthorized stories of his heroic demise circulating. Alright, so we've gained 500 sovereigns, as well as 1,000 experience. Really good stuff. Secondly, we can help the incautious driver hunt for the verdant. We have a 30% chance of success. The second try. A taste on the wind. The driver sniffs at the air for any hint of loose verdant spores dragged in by passing travelers. I can taste something. A fear. Not death, but the loss of something important. The fragment doesn't want to return. It doesn't want to give up what it's become. They close their eyes, focusing. I can taste its design as well. Its host knew of a place called Hotstrup Deep, a desolate corner of the sky. It meant to hide there. The deep will be hard to find. When we're close, we'll need to use our scout. The deep lies to the west-southwest of London. So, west-southwest. So, somewhere around here, then. Okay. Right. Next up is our port reports. We need to turn those in. Oh, actually, we need to do this first. Completely forgot. The fatalistic signalman looking up an old friend. The only address that the signalman has for his friend is Shed 4 at the yards. He will only reveal her first name, Charlotte. Unfortunately, Shed 4 is off limits, ringed with a wire fence and under the guard of a pinched watchman and his barely tamed hounds. Well, we would have an otherworldly artifact, but we burnt them both. So, instead, we're just going to grab some gratitude. And exactly 3. That's perfect. So, ask the stalwart bookkeeper to arrange access. The new street line owes you, and conveniently, many in the Steam and Sapphire yards owe them. Friends in the right places. You hand the watchman a ticket bestowed upon you by the stalwart bookkeeper. The watchman scowls and waves you through. Even his dogs seem satisfied. You make your way through a rickety door and a huge wooden gate and into Shed 4. Shed 4 is a huge storehouse. Beams of solemn starlight slant from grubby windows in the roof. The hulks of old locomotives rust here, from battered tugs to fat old liners once packed with emigrating Londoners. The signalman heads off between the wrecks. The cinnamon stops before a stately old wreck with a flaking navy blue paint. This is her. None worked harder on the Isambard line than she did. You look at the nameplate. The Charlotte Guest. Ah, look how they left her, he says gloomily. That's not right. You tidy up, you put things in order, you turn the lights off and close up before you go. She deserved better than this. Let's see. Well, we can't do either of these, so I suppose we will return later. Right. This means only one thing left to do. Our ambition. Speak. I may as well just read this. It's been a little bit. Ambition, find your missing friend. The earnest agitator did not come to your arranged meeting. Something is wrong. The seasoned captain said she was spending most of her time in London. She must have lodgings here. Speak to mutual acquaintances. You'll need to reacquaint yourself with a number of people you have also lost contact with. Cost us 2 Salon-stewed gossip. We have 5 now. Kindling. You focus your efforts on the dark factories where, when the last shift had ended, revolutionaries gathered to enact the schemes of their calendar council. No one has seen your friend in some time, and not at all since the fire. The fire? Apparently there was a fire in the building where she rented rooms. No bodies were found, but she hasn't been seen since. You are able to secure the address. Progress. Ambition. A mysterious fire. The building your friend lived in was a narrow lodging house, divided into too many apartments. Now it is a blackened husk, still standing only because it's wedged between houses on either side. The constabulary have boarded it up. A pair of homeless gentlemen occupying the opposite doorway are happy to tell you about it. We saw it. They said it was a gas fire. Burned blue, didn't it, George? Arr, says George. Blue. Search the ruin. You understand that your friend lived in the garret. The ravaged garret. Prying aside the boards, you enter. The fire stink claws at your throat. The stairs, the thin stairs, warped and blackened, lead upwards. But when you set foot on the first step, it collapses. You are forced to inch up, testing each one as you go. The roof has collapsed, exposing the garret to the air. Blackened beams jut like ribs from a slew of tumbled tiles. Search the ruin. But carefully, the building's shell groans at the slightest wind. Pieces of the fire. Of the puzzle. You unearth a few buried pages from the rubble. None are untouched by the fire, and many are blotted by rain, but you manage to pick up a handful of gnomic phrases. Constellations and conjunctions. Chrysanthemum. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Amaranthine. Nepothine. Liberation. Meg. The fire that follows equals the courtesy's bloodhound. King of Hours. Green Regent. Consult the rolls of ash. This latter one has the bedeviled Didact's name written at the top. If Meg is Spatchcocker Meg, that's 2 of your acquaintances from the premise of days named in these papers. Is this the important work they were helping the earnest agitator with? It's time they talked to you. So, the next step in our ambition is going back to New Winchester. We're not going to be doing that for a little bit. We have some unfinished business here in Albion. But yeah, the pieces are starting to, well, they're starting to not exactly fall into place, but mystery abounds. All of this stuff is really important and really cool lore. So, we are going to take out a piece of ministry-approved literature. There we go. Get some more fuel and supplies. And we are going to head out. Discontent. Just reprimand him. Gain 5 terror. That is less than ideal. But, hey, what are you gonna do? Right. So, we are going to make another quick stop at Brabazon Work World. If you watched the last episode, you'll know that there's a bit of a storyline progressing there. So, we're going to go to that. Then we're going to try to find this piece of the verdant for the incautious driver. And finally, we're going to see if we can find any of the other ports in Albion. Because we're missing quite a few. So, yeah, I'm going to head over to Brabazon. Oh, actually, before I leave you guys, I can't believe that I forgot this in the beginning. If you like this content, be sure to like the video. And also, subscribe and ring the bell. They both really, really help the channel out. They really immensely help it. Alright, plug over. I'll see you at Brabazon. Oh dear. I won't see you at Brabazon. Instead, I'm going to outrun this. Ouch. Ouch. I'm going to outrun this deranged dreadnought. And run straight into the storm that speaks. Oh my. Well. Alrighty then. Ouch. Alright. Well, that was thrilling, and it almost took all of our hull. Right. It should be smooth sailing from here. See you at Brabazon. Alright, here we are. Back at Brabazon. And this is the reason that I brought the Ministry Approved Literature. I think that will help they'll let us get in. If it isn't. No, it's a Ministry stamped. It's a Ministry stamped permit, not Ministry Approved Literature. The hours would have let me in, but, I brought the wrong thing. So it looks like we're not doing that right about now. If we head around back to the Serene Mausoleum, the Ministry Approved Literature would be useful. So I guess it's not a total waste. But, still, that's less than ideal, for sure. So I guess I'll see you when we find that piece of the verdant. Oh, we found some graves out here. We aren't quite ready to use our scouts yet. Oh boy, this is tempting. This, if we succeed, this gives us a condemned experiment, I think. Which are very hard to come by, but that's only a 20% chance. Our terror is also a bit high. I think I'm just gonna pay our respects here. We do fail, we do lose a bit of hull, but our terror did indeed fall. So we're approaching the point where we're going to need to use our scout in order to find the verdant, so we can progress the driver's storyline. Oh! We've got some guests over there. Hopefully we can avoid them. I think we have successfully. Our scout has found something way over there. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to sort of make a compilation of what I find out here. And hopefully one of those things is the verdant. That would be nice. Oh, well, find number 1 is something that I cannot even interact with, so... Off to a good start, I see. Alright. Alright, we've got a curator egg. Alright, hopefully we can get away with this without a curator spawning. That would be very bad, and we do. Alright. At least we'll get some profit out of this. Another thing up there. Oh, cracked glass. All we can do is leave them broken. And we fail and lose a crew member. That's unfortunate. Let's see, what do we have here? Can we interact with this? We cannot. But we can't stick around here. Don't want to deal with that marauder. Though we could probably take him. And our scout has nothing to report. That's a bit concerning. Up there is toward the Clockwork Sun. So I think we're gonna hug the wall over here and see if we can pick anything up this way. Alright, we've got another curator egg. But we are not going to grab that. The curator got stuck on his own eggs. What an idiot. Another thing in the mist. Going forward. Just keep a-moving. Terror's getting a little high. There's some more graves up there, but we are on a mission. Found something else. I hope it's something. I hope it's I hope it's something. I hope it's the thing, or at the very least a port. Now I've been hearing the Big Ben ding dongs in this area, so I know that the Floating Parliament is somewhere in the vicinity. Just gotta figure out where. We got some supplies, at least. Some extra supplies, how about that? Perfect, exactly what we needed. Oh! Well, we found the Floating Parliament. We didn't find that verdant, though. I wonder where it could be. We scoured the entire southwest of the map. Let's see. Let's take a dock and see what's up here. Cromwell's Gate. The ancient palace drifts through the void, a monument to British democracy and the greatness it believes it brought to the high wilderness. An elderly guard watches with suspicion as you dock, but relaxes at the sight of fellow Londoners. Palace of the High Minister. The Empress shipped the House of Parliament brick by brick from Old London to the high wilderness to help her govern. It didn't take long for her to grow wary of the questioning of her authority and have it severed from London. Parliament now drifts free in this distant corner of the sky. It continues to pass laws, but hardly anyone pays attention. Let's see. Compile a port report. Parliament has seen better days. The last bulwark. While the palace is off limits to most, there are always ministers and civil servants whose busy schedules allow a moment for a free drink. You ask the obvious question. What is the point of Parliament when Her Renewed Majesty never gives her assent to any of its proposed laws? They bristle. Tyrants fall. Democracy endures. How true. A welcoming party. Smiling, nervous young people greet you as you disembark. Excuse us, the man in the yellow rosette calls. Excuse me. A minute of your time. The smiling man wearing the yellow rosette cuts in first. Captain, join our campaign to celebrate Albion and restore old-school patriotism to the land by officially renaming Wednesday as Victoria's Day. Praise Her Renewed Majesty for all she has. The smiling woman wearing the green rosette effortlessly cuts in. For killing democracy? For our subjugation? No, Captain. We must make a stand for freedom. We must show the Empress that we will not just sit idle. Join us as we triumphantly rename her precious Victoria Sponge to the People's Cake. They look at you with a hungry expectancy. Priorities. Of course, we will vote in opposition to the Empress. Quietly, very quietly. There are ears everywhere. The two scribble down your answer. Thank you, says the woman with the green rosette, and turns to her opposing number. One for me, a clear majority. Too bad nobody's listening, mutters the man in the yellow rosette. The two disappear towards the palace, where no new laws have made it onto the books in years. Let's see. We can observe the people's perpetual protest. A ragtag mob of protesters has set up camp on the lawn. No two want the same thing, but their cacophonous chanting is impressive. Parliament has little power, but at least there is a chance it might listen. That is more than the protesters can expect at the throne of ours. The protesters raise their voices with a spirit of camaraderie and a united belief that words can still make the world a better place, with neither anger in their words nor violence in their demands. At 3 on the dot, the huge portcullis opens, and the protesters are served tea, scones, and little cucumber sandwiches cut into triangles. A little recognition of the protesters' ongoing service to this most vital part of British democracy. Let's join the protest. You have opinions to get off your chest. You scream until hoarse, wave borrowed placards. You scream until hoarse, wave borrowed placards, and invent witty slogans that trip off the tongue and are quietly picked up by those around you. The world does not seem a noticeably better place as a result of all this protesting. Still, even a tiny ripple has the potential to become a tidal wave. That is true. You have marginally raised awareness of whatever your cause was. Maybe. And we gained a sky story. Let's see, we can explore the Trader's Green. It was originally named for Cromwell. Someone clearly holds a grudge. Drunk and disorderly. The replanted gardens are a pleasant place to enjoy a walk, though the buildings are out of bounds to casual visitors. The Empress's gate is particularly fortified by a heavy chain and a padlock too rusted to ever be unlocked. A few protesters are taking a break to picnic on the lawn, away from the guards. Braver or more foolhardy ones sit on the aisle's edge, swinging their legs over the sky as they eat their sandwiches. As near them you spot the fellow in the suit, swaying uncertainly. His footsteps have taken him precariously close to the edge. Nobody seems to have noticed. We can run over to help. He looks like an MP, but even so, sit back and watch. Mr. Darwin would no doubt approve. Oh, somebody's gearing up for a Darwin Award. No, we're going to run over and help. He sees you coming. Startled, he steps back, and with a drunken cry, is gone. Over the edge, and soon, little but a dot in the swirling clouds of the wilderness. A small army of civil servants soon swarms the nearest gate, staring over the edge, agreeing what appalling timing and manners the fellow had, and already arguing over whether the most appropriate memorial will be a bronze plaque, or on a bench, or a new ficus somewhere within the parliamentary halls. A tap on your shoulder distracts you. A tall clerk flanked by 2 claymen. Excuse me, us. He glances you up and down. Yes, very suitable. A moment of your time. The first secretary. He sits at a huge mahogany desk in a prestigious Downing corridor. Your conversation doesn't distract him from writing notes in the margins of endless pieces of paperwork. He pauses his scribbling only to sip from a large cup of stone-cold tea or to scratch his head with the pen's long silver nib. Discuss business. He looks down his nose at you with the grim expression of a headmaster waiting for an excuse to break out his favorite birch rod. Ah, the captain. A moment. Do take a seat. Tea? Ah, yes. I will call for some tea. The loss of our dear minister for... He hesitates, covertly checking a file. Woolbury Juxta Mar. Yes, it is a tragedy, but we must move on. You seem just the sort I'm looking for. Lucid. Breathing. Have you considered a career in politics? He holds up a hand. No, I do not care about history or affiliations. A bum in the chair will suffice. The Department of Albion Affairs would be a suitable starting point. If you are interested, I will set the wheels in motion. We can visit the former minister's port if you wish to stand for election. I suppose, being a revolutionary, I suppose we aren't too interested in electoralism. But, what the heck, we'll give it a try, and we do happen to know where Woolbury is. It's actually on the complete opposite side of Albion. Lovely, very convenient. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have for this episode. We did made some progress in our ambition today. We discovered a new port. Good stuff all around. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this content, remember to like it. Subscribe, ring the bell. It really helps the channel out. Comment any games you want to play, any feedback you have on the channel. I appreciate it all. And, yeah, that's about it. See ya.